Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Uh, I'm going to be reviewing the movie called Barbarian. This was directed by Zach Cregger. It's a horror movie, and I saw it actually a while back, but I wanted to review of it. Um, this came out in 2022. I actually hadn't really heard much about this movie. I know that it was, and I guess in terms of horror fans, they think it was a very good horror movie. So I decided to watch it. Um, I really like this movie. This was it was very different, very unpredictable, and I like that it had there were still some good jump scares that nowadays when you see a horror movie, it doesn't really scare you as much. But this movie, there was a lot of scenes that kind of scared me. Basically, the what the movie's about is a woman who she is rents an Airbnb, and when she goes to her Airbnb in this kind of pretty sketchy uh, ghetto neighborhood, she encounters a man in the Airbnb. And he says that he's renting the Airbnb. So I guess there's kind of interference because she rented it for that day, and he's like, "Oh, I'm already here. I rented it for today." So she ends up going inside, and he's pretty amicable, and he's very kind of generous, and he lets her stay. I know it's pretty late out night. You don't have to go and go looking for Airbnb. We can share this Airbnb, and she's like, she trusts him because he looks like a very friendly guy, and he is a very benevolent person. Um, so she ends up staying at the place, and yeah, she's just there, and essentially, she's there because she's gonna have I believe it's an interview for a job. So before she has an interview the day before, when she's first goes in, she's with the guy, and they're there and they're playing around. I mean, they're talking, getting to know one another, and then they end up just kind of getting some drinks, and they're kind of just you know playing, just kind of goofing off and having fun. And she's like, "Oh, this guy's pretty cool. I can trust him." So she stays at his place and everything. And then the next day, she has an interview with the employer, and the employer finds out that she's staying at that one place, at that one neighborhood, and the employer's like, "Get out of there. That place is dangerous, and it's really and it's pretty ghetto and stuff." Um, so she ends up kind of like saying like, maybe I should get out of here because it's not that trustworthy. So she goes back, and kind of finds out there's kind of a basement underneath, and that's when everything kind of scary stuff transpires. And I'm not gonna give it too much away, but there's some very very good scary parts, surprising parts, and you kind of feel like, okay, it's gonna go this way, but then it goes another way. And then there's another story with the actor Justin Long, who's a great. I mean, he's an actor that's already came out in like a couple horror movies that I enjoy, Jeepers Creepers, Drag Me to Hell. So he's a very, I guess, I think there's another one that came out with. He came out in the Kevin Smith movie, but he's an actor that I feel that he's already made his kind of carved his, in terms of being a horror actor, and he's just great in this. So he comes out like midway in this movie, and I mean, he's likable, but then you kind of start finding out the kind of person he is. So you kind of distance yourself from him because this guy, maybe he's not really trustworthy. Um, I really like this movie. This was very in terms of horror. I mean, there was a lot of there was comedic moments. So I think when horror is able to blend in with comedy, something like maybe like Sam Raimi can do, um, with Drag Me to Hell, and I guess the earlier Evil Dead movies. Even though I was never into Evil Dead, but just the mixture of horror and comedy, I think, is something that um, I think it's tough to do. But when it's done well, executed well, then I'm like, wow, this is a good movie because they can blend in the two genres. And this movie does it well. There's a lot of funny moments and there's a lot of scary moments, and it kind of blends in very well together. Um, and I think it's just kind of like you kind of don't know where this is going. Like there's a lot of times I'm watching, I'm like, where is this going? And I like that when it's unpredictable, when you're like at the edge of your seat, you're like kind of like you're rooting for the main characters. You want them to escape whatever um, they're going through, and that's what I like about this movie. Um, yeah, I don't want to give it too much away because there's a lot more to it. But let's just say, it's pretty much a character. She goes into this place that's rented, and this person telling her, get out of there. Don't, it's not safe there. But before she leaves, she kind of like she's curious, so she goes in the basement, and in the basement, she discovers some pretty scary stuff, and some very twisted, sick stuff, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's a very very great horror movie, and the ending is just kind of like what, like it's very very well made, and had never heard of this director, but I think he's gonna make another. I think it's also gonna be a horror movie. His name is Zach Krager. He's very very talented filmmaker. So yeah, I recommend this movie, guys. I'm gonna give this movie a 5 out of 5. This movie was phenomenal. This is a great horror movie that I recommend to everyone, and I hope everyone can check it out.